going on.
Just take us through your role and how you work with Liam and just how everything's kind of coming together when it comes to the passing game behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's a little bit different this time of the year compared to being in the season. Right now, we're getting on the same page with different drills, implementing a new scheme through all the work we're doing in phase 2. And then really during the season, it's more of helping him get ahead on different parts of the game plan, looking at different tendencies around the league, things that we can utilize from other places, things that I've done in the past, things that he's done in the past, and just try to be like a sounding board for him on some ideas.
You obviously came from Miami where, had a great prolific offense and throwing the ball, guys moving before the snap. Like, how much of this could be eventually incorporated into sort of the passing game here?
For sure. It's a lot of the things that Liam was around as well, whether it be at Kentucky or his history with the Rams. But we're aligned in that on the utilization of motions and shifts to manipulate defenses, attack space. So a lot of that stuff you'll see here as well.
What have you seen out of Baker Mayfield so far since you started working with him?
Just with everything you would expect, seeing from afar and now finally being able to be around him, just competitor, loves the game, keeps it light. But worker, always cutting up and keeping everybody on the same page. But he's been fun to be around.
You've been trash talking too during OTAs.
Oh, it's not going to stop. And keep doing it. It's good. Just creates competition for everybody. Keeps it light. We go out there and work, and we're out there to have fun and get better at the same time. So he's the epitome of that.
A couple top-tier weapons, and Evans and Godwin. Just speak to them and how excited you are to utilize them in this offense.
Yeah, for sure. And they've had a lot of success around here. So it's things that did over the last couple of years, and then, again, things that not that they have the same skill set as the guys that have been around in the past, but being able to utilize some of those things that we did in Miami and just add to their repertoire. Because, like I said, they both had a ton of success around here.
You talked about your role with Liam in terms of game day. Is that a situation where he's going to be on the sidelines, you'll be in the booth, or vice versa?
Yeah, we're still working through it a little bit as we get closer to the season, trying to hash that out. I would imagine that I'll be in the press box, but just one of those things we're going to hit a little bit further down the road and figure out exactly how we want to go about the game day schedule.
Was that where you were in Miami, or?
I was both. I've been in the box as a QC. I coached the receivers there for 2 years, of course, on the sidelines, doing the substitutions, and then the last couple of years I've been in the box. So.
In your role, do you spend as much? Is it split between quarterbacks and receivers? Is it kind of like all encompassing type?
Yeah, it's a good question. I move around a good amount. I've been in the receiver room, or I've been in the quarterback room the last couple of weeks. I do have the history of coaching the receivers, so it might be on the field where we're helping with drills and things like that, even with the tight ends. Could be the backs as well. But it does allow me to move around to different spots.
What stood out to you about this group of guys that you're just getting to know?
You said who stuck out?
So what has stood out to you about this group of guys that you're just getting to know?
That they just work so hard and everyone's aligned on what we're trying to get done. It's a very unselfish group. They put the work in out there on the field. You can tell it's a mature group from having the guys like Mike and Chris that have been around here, and it just permeates down to some of the younger guys. So they take it seriously, and they've been fun to be around.
What are your thoughts on Jalen McMillan coming in here from Washington? What would you like about his tape?
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited about bringing him in. Good feel, really good route runner. He can separate versus man coverage. Good hands. And then the success they had. It's always nice to see guys that work the right way and have the success that Washington had this past season. And talking to everybody around him and the kind of worker he is and his mentality. So we're excited for him.
With your background with receivers, just what do you get when you're watching Trey Palmer out there? What can you build off of from his rookie season? Where does he need to grow? Yeah,
I would say what you see is the speed is what sticks out on tape. Now just getting into the new system, trying to get on the same page with how we're calling things. But like anybody else, we're just trying to get down exactly how we want to run the routes, the depths to align with the quarterback's footwork and timing and things like that. So now for him, you can tell that the speed sticks out and he's trying to take it to the next level going into a new year.
What about Ruckham, Jared? What have you seen out of him? Looking at the film, we're just kind of getting to know him out here on the field.
Love his demeanor. He just works, goes about it. And then kind of the same thing with Trey. I mean, you can tell that Rock can run, and just looking for him to take that next step this year. because from what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, he's got a bright future, and look forward to working with him.
Liam's a predominantly 3 receiver, 1 tight end. That won't be every down, but just in general, having those alignments, right? What's the advantage at times to dictate maybe what the defense, what the personnel is, what they're doing?
Yeah. When you have the 3 receivers on the field, you of course now have the ability to motion even more just because there is more speed. So obviously that's the main difference versus having 2 receiver sets. Doesn't mean you can't motion the back or the tight end to try to manipulate defenses, but you can get a little more creative formationally with 3 receivers just because you don't know exactly where they're going to be versus tight ends and backs being more in the core of the formation.
This team's done, pre-snap motion, but motion at the snap. Can you just speak to the advantages of doing that in particular?
Yeah, we're looking to apply pressure on the defense. And when you have somebody in motion at the snap, it makes them communicate what are their checks, they're pressuring, how are they going to handle the motion, not knowing who it's going to come from. So when we try to apply the pressure to them by being in motion, we're just creating advantages for ourselves. There's also ways to manipulate defenses to find voids and zones through the use of motion. So that's definitely something that we believe in.
Okay, anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.